A year now since a North Texas teenager walked out of a Dallas Mavericks game and ended up in the hands of sex traffickers. Tonight, the I-Team is hitting the streets with the man who helped rescue the girl as he searches for more teenagers trapped into a life of forced prostitution. Here's I-Team reporter Ginger Allen to get us underway.
We've got one that's working here to our left right now.
It's Friday night, and private investigator J.B. Rice is on the hunt in northwest Dallas. He's driving along the track, an area known for prostitution, looking for teenagers who are being trafficked. He asked us not to show his face so he doesn't get recognized on the streets.
I think there's a high probability that two of our victims may be out here tonight.
Rice traced the 15 and 16-year-olds here after spending hours conducting a different kind of search online.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Inside this hotel room where we first met up with him, he was combing through an endless supply of ads, all offering sex for sale in North Texas.
In that 1 minute time span, 19 ads were posted in Dallas.
He compares the photos in the ads to pictures posted by the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, or NCMEC.
There's a high probability that they're going to pop up on the radar of a pimp or a predator. So runaways often turn into trafficking victims.
This is his full-time job at the Texas Counter-Trafficking Initiative, a nonprofit based in Houston. He says doing this research is the best way to make sure police will respond when he finds a juvenile.
I could easily have called law enforcement in Dallas and said, hey, I think these girls are up here because XYZ. Well, that's not going to mean a whole lot. But if I have eyes on them, or if I can prove out that, yes, this child is currently at this location, this is the street she's on, now that's actionable intelligence.
PI Dennis Osment also runs a nonprofit search firm in Carrollton called For the One Foundation.
We know that the longer they're on the street, the more vulnerable they are to obviously being hurt or being trafficked.
He and his fellow PIs do their own surveillance, setting up for hours at a time when they find a missing teenager. But he says in the last few years, some police departments have become less willing to step in when asked. He described a recent case where a PI called officers after watching a girl enter an apartment with a man.
Their response was, well, if you know she's in there, then tell the family where she is and they can come get her. And of course, we're not going to do that because if that's a trafficker in there, you don't want mom or dad knocking on the door because somebody is going to get hurt.
The I-Team dug into the numbers to see how manpower matched with the number of cases. We asked police agencies how many employees they assign to missing juveniles, runaways, and trafficking cases, and compared it to the number of missing juvenile reports filed in 2021. Across Dallas County, there is one officer for roughly every 80 juveniles reported missing each year. In Tarrant, there is one for every 51 missing juveniles. Law enforcement agencies in Denton County have one officer for every 31 cases. In Collin County, the ratio is 1 to 20, and that is not their entire caseloads.
We prioritize every case that comes in.
Jimmy Perdue is the president of the Texas Police Chiefs Association and the chief at North Richland Hills. He says every missing juvenile case is typically reviewed for risk factors, including social media history, drug use, and any previous incidents of running away. Even if a teen leaves on his or her own, he says detectives don't stop searching.
It is always naturally going to be a lower priority than a case where you have a child that's in danger. But to say that it is a higher priority than a shoplifting, I would say that's, so it's a balancing act across that specific detective's entire workload, their schedule and everything that goes on.
Perdue says when it comes to finding a runaway, there is no one-size-fits-all approach. Every case is different.
We understand the grief from a family standpoint. A lot of times there's just very little we can do.
That's where advocates such as Rice and Osment come in.
Yesterday, we were able to help recover a young lady.
Over the years, their organizations have helped recover more than 500 teenagers, putting a spotlight on the problem and providing hope back out on these streets. Ginger Allen, CBS News, Texas.
The CBS News Texas I-Team is here for you. If you have questions or a problem you'd like us to look into, please contact us. We want to hear from you. You can call the I-Team at 817-586-7211, or if you prefer email, it's iteam@ktvt.com.